Earlier this year, 2026, the US Congress made a proposal of dividing Nigeria into two. According to them, they said that dividing Nigeria is one of the best ways to solve insecurity in the country. And also, according to them, they said that they are going to divide Nigeria into two, which is the North and the South. And after this news has gone viral, a lot of people said, no, you can't divide Nigeria just into two, the North and the South. What of the people in the West? What of the people in the East? And so some people started proposing, why don't you divide it into three, the North, the West, and the East? And some people said, no, divide it into five. We have the North Central, we have the Niger Delta. You know, a lot of people were saying a whole lot of things. Now, a popular person in Igbo land, I know some people may not see him as popular, but then he's popular. Ralph Uwazuruike has actually asked Trump to divide Nigeria into 6. As we can see from this news, it says, 2027, Uwazuruike begs Trump to divide Nigeria into 6 zones. This news was published on the 14th day of May 2026, just a couple of days ago. And when I saw this news, when I saw this headline, the first thing was into 6. Of course, I know that we have 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria. So is Ralph Uwazuruike trying to, tell Trump to divide Nigeria into the 6 geopolitical zones? But then we have to go down to understand this news. Please, I beg you to stay with me. All right, because we're going to learn a lot from this news. Now, according to Ralph Uwazuruike, says, the founder and leader of the movement for actualization of sovereign state of Biafra, Mazop, otherwise called Biafra Independence Movement, BIM, Ralph Uwazuruike, he pleaded to President Donald Trump of United States of America, USA, to divide Nigeria into 6 separate zones and grant them independent status. So, Ralph Uwazuruike is telling Donald Trump to divide Nigeria into 6 political zones. I mean, into 6, countries. And so, reading down to this news, I realized what Ralph Uwazuruike was actually saying. Now, listen to this. According to him, he said the first country he's going to divide Nigeria into is the North Central, which comprises of Benue, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Niger, Plateau, and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Right? So this is the first country that Ralph Uwazuruike was suggesting to Trump. The second one is Northeast, which is Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, Gombe, Taraba, and Yobe. Another country, according to Ralph Uwazuruike. Another one is Northwest, Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, and Zamfara. Now, down to this. Southeast, Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo. And when I saw this, I said to myself, wait, is it actually what Ralph Uwazuruike is fighting for in the name of Biafra? Is it these 5 states he's fighting for in the name of Biafra? What about our brothers, in South-South, so-called South-South, Ikwere River State? What about our brothers there? Is he going to throw them off? What about our brothers in the Middle Belt? Is he going to throw them off? If you are telling Trump to divide, to give Igbos, their own nation, and only these states are mentioned, what about your people in other states that is close by? What do you do to them? Now, the next one he said is South-South, which comprises of Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Edo, and Rivers. They will have their own country, South-South. Now, the last one he said is Southwest, which is Yoruba land, right? Ekiti, Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, Osun, and Oyo. That is what Ralph Uwazuruike is saying. And this is the map as it's going to be, right? This is Northwest, Northeast, North Central, which is Middle Belt, Southwest, Southeast, and of course, South-South, which is the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria. So this is what Ralph Uwazuruike is begging Trump to divide Nigeria into. Ralph Uwazuruike. But when I saw this news, I wasn't pleased. I wasn't pleased because, as I said earlier, what about our brothers here? What about our brothers here? What do you do to them? So if you ask me, I will say that Nigeria should be divided into 5. That is my own opinion. I will explain to you. And then, of course, you can drop your own opinion in the comment section. Nigeria should be divided into 5. What do I mean? The North will take their own country. We have the Middle Belt, Benue and the rest of them. We have the southwest, the Yoruba land. We have what? The southeast and the Niger Delta Republic, right? Of course, those, Igbo speaking will join the southeast, of course, not just Imo and Ebonyi and Enugu, not just the 5 states. So if you allow me, if you ask me, I would say it should be divided into 5 different countries. So what about you? What do you make of it? Do you think that what Ralph Uwazuruike is saying is correct, that it should be divided into 6, zones, or into 5, or into 3, which is Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo? Which one is your best option? But then we got a man from the South that spoke about this, and he spoke so brilliantly about the division of Nigeria. So I want to beg you to take a little time, listen to him, and understand what he's saying. But as I asked, what is your own opinion when it comes to the division of Nigeria? Do you think it should be divided into 2, the north and the south, or into 3, the north, the west, and the east, or into 6, or into 5? Whichever way you think, drop it in the comment section, all right? Of course, I'll be there to reply to your comments. But then, listen to our dear brother, please.
Nigeria is now 2 countries in one border. Let us be honest. Let's stop pretending unity still exists. Where is the unity? Let's take the North. The North, dominated by radical political Islam. Sharia law operational across 12 northern states. Militant ecosystems persist in the north. ISWAP, linked largely to Fulani networks. Boko Haram, rooted in Kanuri regions. These groups survive because ideology protects them from the state. The state hesitates. Accountability is selective. The South, predominantly Christian. Christians are targets, not combatants. Christians are killed in direct attacks or die as collateral in Islamist conflicts in the north. Communities are exposed, disarmed, and abandoned. In my view, this is no longer a misunderstanding. No more. This divide is structural. It is not repairable from within. Nigeria can never from within repair the divide. It is obvious to everybody now. Let's look at the coup detentions. The coup detentions is a symptom, not a cause. Now to the military. In October 2025, officers were detained over an alleged coup plot. It was reported, as usual, the government lied and denied it, the federal government. Important correction. This was before even the US struck ISIS targets in Sokoto. But here is the politically dangerous detail. Most of those reportedly detained were from northern states in Nigeria, with only a few from the south, just a couple, maybe one from Oshun, an Islamic state. That matters because it signals internal elite dissatisfaction, not national cohesion, and it aligns with the larger truth. Power blocks in the north are unhappy with Tinubu. They're not unhappy in Nigeria. And they want Tinubu out before 2027. They are unhappy, except they're ruling. That's the only time they're happy. Trump's warning did not start in 2025, ladies and gentlemen. Trump did not suddenly discover Nigeria. Back in 2019, during his first term, he invited Buhari to the White House and warned Nigeria's President Buhari directly. He looked at Buhari in the face and said to him, "Stop killing Christians face to face." That wasn't diplomacy. That was a line in the sand. From that moment, Nigeria became a religious freedom issue. In US politics, pressure began building quietly. Warnings came, a lot of warnings before a single bomb fell. So by October 2025, when coup allegations surfaced, Nigeria was already under rising US scrutiny. Already. Sokoto was not the beginning. Sokoto is the exposure. It was not the beginning at all. The caliphate of Sokoto is the exposure, where the Sultan rules. When the US struck ISIS-linked targets in Sokoto in December 2025, something changed. Not the violence, the visibility. The visibility. For the first time, caliphate had land was touched. Religious violence was internationalized. Nigeria's internal war became global business. The whole world is looking and talk about it. And here's where Nigerian elites hate. This is what they hate to admit. Many Southern Nigerians welcome the strikes. Southern Nigerians were cheering. They welcome Trump strikes. They are now openly asking, indeed begging President Trump, do more. Don't stop. Protect us. All you have to do, look at the Ofio Okwasho comments. They want Trump to come more. That alone tells you the Nigerian state has failed half of its citizens. Nigerian state is a failure. It's a complete failure for its citizens. By the way, why do northern elites fear Trump? Why? After all, Trump came to stop terrorism. Let's be honest. Trump is dangerous to northern power structures. I will analyze it for you. Because it threatens three pillars at once. Three. Pillar number one, religion. Sharia political dominance, Trump threatens that. Ideological cover for extremist networks, Trump threatens that. The ability to deceive the world and label hundreds of thousands of killings as complex local issues. Number two, security tolerance. Militant ecosystems survive on reduced scrutiny, so when nobody's watching them, Trump raises the cost of tolerance with force, with Tomahawk missiles on the most sacred caliphate ground in Nigeria, the Emirate of Sokoto. By the way, we don't know where the Sultan still is. Resources. And this part is rarely said out loud. But I'll say it. Nigeria's federal budget is largely financed by crude oil and commercial activity from the whole of the South. Oil revenues come overwhelmingly from southern states. Southern businesses carry a disproportionate share of the tax and economic burden in Nigeria, a country of 220 million people, yet political and religious dominance remains northern-centric. The North feel they're entitled to power, so when there's no power, they're crying. This imbalance creates anxiety because sustained U.S. pressure threatens the following: revenue flows, patronage system, long-standing power arrangements in Nigeria, which have solidified northern dominance forever. Forever. Trump doesn't just challenge ideology, he destabilizes the economic status quo that keeps the North politically dominant while the South funds the state and suffers from violence, where thousands of Christians are killed. That is why resistance to Trump runs very, very deep in northern Nigeria. Let us put it in front of everybody today. Let's talk. Talk in the comment section. This is my conclusion. Here's my position, clearly stated. Nigeria is split along religious and regional lines, which I pointed out. The violence is asymmetric. The violence is asymmetric. The state, Nigerian state, has failed Christian communities. Internal solutions have collapsed. It's a waste of time. External pressure is the only thing that has shifted behavior. Stop talking about restructure. It's a gross waste of time. Trump did not invent Nigeria's crisis. He exposed it and disrupted the comfort of those who benefit from silence. The billions and billions, the Dangotes, the billions who will not say anything. Without outside pressure, the killings continue. The excuses continue. The schism deepens. Ladies and gentlemen, if this makes you uncomfortable, good. That's what I want to do. I want you to be uncomfortable. I want the solution. Because comfort has killed more Nigerians than truth. Hundreds of thousands of Nigerians. Go and look at how Boko Haram, everybody is comfortable. No. No comfort in the Ofio show on YouTube. We don't manage narratives here. We confront reality. So, subscribe, comment, press the notification button so they inform you before my podcast drop. This is the Ofio show. We don't just report events. We track where they lead. I am the voice of the voiceless. I am your independent voice telling fearless truths. In fact, sometimes we enjoy, we make fun, we laugh at the failing and inept Nigerian state and power while telling the truth.
Nigeria is not a united country, despite all the pretenses. We are not South since 1914. It has not changed. The North, at the flip of a switch, they are able to shout northern interests. The southerners are laid back, hoping that, oh, we are civilized, we don't want to talk about tribalism. Tribalism is at play. We are pretentious about this matter. Look, the North has taken us for a ride for too long. They foisted federal character on Nigeria over 40 years. They foisted quota system over Nigeria over 40 years. Have they benefited from it? Only the tiny clique in the North is holding the whole country to ransom. It's enough time for Nigeria to wake up. We are not together, not plus out. Now they are talking the elite, the few elite in the North, like if feeding bottle is going to be removed from their mouth. That's what they are doing. They are shouting. They are forming a group now. Lead of Northern Democrats. It's a fact that we are divided. We pretend that is totally, I don't understand it. The North knows what they want, and the South are reluctant to say what they want. President Tinubu is better to put all the cards on the table, trying to pepper over it and say we are united. Of course, we are not united. We are not united. We are divided. That's just the truth. I've told you now that the North brought federal character. The South agreed to okay, fine, we are united. Where is the result of it? The North brought quota system. Southern agreed with it. It's in the constitution. What is the result? If we now bring in tax to say, okay, get more VAT in the North at the expense of the South, so what will be the result? The division will continue until we remove the feeding bottle. Let everybody just work according to his own dictates. The North sincerely believes in Sharia. We should not grow them for that purpose now. We should let them be. They want Sharia. In the South, there are Muslims. We don't want Sharia. Somebody brought us in Oyo to do Sharia in Oyo. Everybody put it down. The Muslims in the South don't want Sharia. So why are we pretending? In the Southeast, some few Muslims, but they don't want Sharia. Let's accept who we are. Let's accept reality so that we'll not stop talking and motion without movement. That's what it is. I'm not ashamed. Okay, look, if President Tinubu succeeds now, 2027, 2031, every Yoruba person in Abuja will be clean out of the system. Because Buhari started with Fulani, he is doing Yoruba now. Let the Igbos come. We cannot grow the Igbos if they put 99% in all positions too. Is that the way we are building the country? Let Yoruba man go and rule Yoruba land. Let the North agree on who will rule Northwest. Let the Kanuri rule Northeast. Let the Igbos rule the Southeast. Let the South agree. Then the temperature will come down. I will not want to be running federal election with 200 million naira form because I have to run from Sokoto to Ikotekpene. I will campaign as a premier of Western region where people know me and I know them. I know what they want. The Southwest want to bring all Yorubas who are Japan, bring them back to Nigeria. Nigeria is too hostile for the Yorubas now. Nigeria is a poisoned environment for Yoruba because we invested in education so much and we have lost all the human beings. They are developing other societies. The North will not care less. How many doctors do they have in United States? How many doctors do they have in Europe? These are facts and put on the table now. I don't need to sugarcoat anything at all. We are divided. Let's just accept it. It's no fight. It's no war. The North will come up on their own. We will respect each other. But this matter of trying to play some games, President Tinubu is better. In fact, if he runs only one term and he brings this temperature down, his name will go down in history. But if he does not do anything in the next 6 months about restructuring, and he goes to use all the money to run election in 2027 and he wins, and then what? Yorubas will become endangered in the political system because once he leaves, then Nigeria is not safe for Yoruba again. We cannot continue the way we are now. Absolutely. Things have to change. And the earlier the change comes about, the better.
There has been this call for restructuring. But for the North now, if I were to speak for the North, I would not speak for restructuring. I would think of giving people what they want. Yoruba nation wants a Oduduwa Republic. In the name of God, give them a Oduduwa Republic. This is 21st century. We have a right to choice. Biafra wants Biafra. Give them Biafra. Give every other nationality what they need. Because as far as I know, the relationship is sound. There is geometrical increase in suspicion across all expressions. The trust is not there. Suspicion is not there. And people want to develop at their own speed. If you want to go at the speed of rocket, please, you should be allowed to go at the speed of rocket. If you want to go at the speed of snail, go at the speed of the snail at your own peril, at the consequences coming to you. But for now, if anybody is thinking that physical federalism is the solution to Nigeria, he is not even understanding the geography, not understanding the history, not understanding the mathematics, not even aware of geometry and the geometrical implication of what they are asking about physical federalism. What we should have is, we should have sub-nations among Nigeria. Let every tribe, let every region get what it wants. Short of this, our children, our grandchildren will abuse us because we are going to leave behind for them a cancerous, that will defy every chemotherapy.